If you're trying to keep up with the Long Beach real estate market, you've probably seen a ton of conflicting headlines. Well, today, we're going to cut through all that noise and look at what the actual data is telling us is happening right now. So, if you're thinking about jumping into the market here, whether you're buying or selling, you really have one big question, right? What kind of market is this really? Is it a buyer's market? A seller's market? Well, the data says it's something totally new.
And here's the main takeaway. The one thing to remember, the market has found a new balance. You know that frantic, seller-dominated frenzy we've seen for the past couple of years? Yeah, that's given way to something fundamentally different.
So let's kick things off with what we're calling the Great Rebalancing. It's really this big shift away from that seller's frenzy and into a market where buyers can, finally catch their breath a little.
Think about it. Just a little while ago, it was all about crazy bidding wars, multiple offers, and sellers pretty much holding all the cards. But today, that is totally flipped. Buyers are way more cautious about price. Homes are sitting on the market longer, and get this, negotiation is actually back on the table. For real.
Okay, so that's the big picture vibe. Now it's time for a little reality check. Let's dig into the actual numbers in the residential market and see how they tell this exact story.
First, a super quick definition you're gonna need. Days on market, or DOM. It's just how long a house is for sale before an offer gets accepted. The only thing you need to remember is this. A bigger number means a slower market, and that means more power for buyers.
All right, let's start with the big headline number. The median sold price for a home in Long Beach this past July was $830,000. Now, that's a big number for sure, but what's really telling is how it's changing.
And here it is. Prices are down almost 9% compared to the same time last year. That is a huge reality check for sellers. It means the peak is officially in the rearview mirror, which makes pricing your home for today's market absolutely critical. Remember DOM? Well, on average, homes in Long Beach are now taking about 50 days to sell. That's almost 7 weeks. The days of listing a house on Friday and having it sold by Sunday, those are gone. Buyers now have time to think, to compare, and to make a decision they're comfortable with.
And of course, a huge reason for all this caution is mortgage rates. They're hovering around 6.5%, and that directly hits what buyers can afford. It just makes everyone so much more sensitive to that final price tag.
But hey, let's put this into perspective for a second. Even with prices softening up a bit, Long Beach is still a premium market. I mean, that $830,000 median is more than double the national average. So this isn't some kind of crash, it's more like a correction in a really high-value area.
Now let's zoom out for just a second to the commercial market, because what's happening with houses is actually part of a much bigger economic cooldown.
If you take a quick look at the commercial side, you see the exact same cooling trend. Take the industrial sector. Vacancy is up, so tenants have more leverage. The office market? Still super slow. Even apartment rents have gone flat. The only place with real stability is your local neighborhood retail. The point is, this cooling trend is happening pretty much across the board.
So, what does this all mean for the near future? Let's talk about what you can probably expect over the next 90 days or so. Looking ahead, expect prices to kind of drift sideways or maybe even dip another % or 2 this fall. After that, you'll likely see that typical holiday slowdown as we get into the end of the year. The bottom line here? Don't hold your breath for some big, sudden rebound. So, in a market like this, how does a property actually stand out? Well, this quote really says it all. The homes that sell fastest are tuned on price, prep, and presentation. It's just not enough to list it anymore, you really have to perfect it.
So, how do we take all this data and turn it into actual smart decisions? Let's break down the actionable takeaways for everyone.
All right, for buyers, the big word is opportunity. You have the luxury of choice and time, so you've got to use it. Don't be afraid to negotiate. It's pretty much expected now. And the smartest thing you can do? Get all your financing lined up so you're ready to lock in a rate the second it dips.
For sellers, the key word is realism. You have to price your home for today's market, not for the peak we saw 6 months ago. That means investing in the prep, the staging, to really make your place pop. And honestly, just be patient. The right offer will come, but it's probably going to involve some back and forth.
And finally, for investors, this market is all about caution and being precise. Whether you're modeling flat rents for apartment buildings or just accepting that tenants have the upper hand in industrial deals, the theme is the same. The easy wins are gone. Expect longer timelines and tougher negotiations, especially in the office sector. So the frenzied seller's market is over. It's been replaced by a much more balanced reality. And this new market? Well, it demands more strategy, more patience, and more precision from everyone involved. Which leaves just one final question. In this new balanced world, is now the time for you to make a move?